Bienvenidos, aloha, welcome into TarTV. Alex Crawford, Jess Gardner with you here as the sun is setting at Davidson Field, and we have a league matchup, a Wave League matchup tonight between your Newport Harbor Sailors and the Laguna Beach Breakers. And Jess, thanks for joining me again. Sailors on a little bit of a hot streak, 2 wins in a row, 2-1-1 in their last 4 games, and looking to move to 3-0 in the Wave League tonight. So this is a big matchup for the Sailors tonight.
Yeah, league started for Newport Harbor last week, and those preseason games are just kind of like that intimidation period and that period to work on your craft as a team. And this is really where it starts to get, intense. These games, Battle of the Bay, and all of those local games are just really what we're looking for.
And it's good to see Anto Russo back. She was gone when we did the game 2 weeks ago on Thursday the 6th.
Oh, yeah.
She's back, and Lane Briggs has scored actually all 3 goals during the Sailors' 2-game win streak, which is crazy.
Yeah, Anto dominates that middle spot, and Lane, she's super good at following through these shots and just finishing them, and she's always there at the right moments. That's why she's gotten her foot on those last 3 goals.
There's Lane Briggs with the ball, chipped up by Gigi Davila. Here comes Anto, nice pass. Inside to Issa Whitaker. Outside, Briggs with it. Nice move. The cross. Sailors on the attack right away, looking aggressive, coming out of the gates just 90 seconds into this one against Laguna Beach. Newport Harbor on the season, 7-8-4, so not only are they looking to move to 3-0 in the Wave League tonight, but looking to move to 500 overall on the season. Then you look over to the Laguna Beach side, 3-5-2 on the season are the Lady Breakers. Stella Gaffney with a touch outside to Lane Briggs. The cross coming just past Brielle Benedict, and it's scooped up by the Laguna Beach goalkeeper. She'll boot it away. Just looking, Jess, at the Sailors' record compared to Laguna Beach's and then the level of competition that Newport's played, this feels like a very winnable game for the Sailors as Anto gets a touch. Over to Stella Gaffney, out of bounds, Sailors possession.
Yeah, this game should be a win for the Sailors, but it's always a battle with Laguna and just everyone in our league overall. We never go into it as an easy win. We got to work. We got to show why we're in this league and why we're here to win it.
Gaffney with the throw in. Davila with the touch now. Benedict back to Gaffney. And she's going to cross it in front. It's picked off by Laguna. They're going to try to push it ahead. Sailors have had possession on the attack pretty much this whole game. And now Laguna going to cross midfield with it and see if they can get a look at their offense. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Breakers' number 14, Lindsay Martin. And Stella Gaffney will throw it in again for the Sailors. Better weather tonight than it was about 2 weeks ago when we were here and the fog rolled in. We could barely see the other side of the field. And now it's an absolutely beautiful sunset at one of the best stadiums in Orange County. Lane Briggs chips it up ahead towards Brielle Benedict. And the Breakers pick it off. Sailors get it back at midfield. And now the Breakers take possession. There's Sadie Hoke with it for Newport Harbor. Back to Lane Briggs, who's had a hat trick over the last 2 games. 3 goals in 2 games is really impressive.
Absolutely.
Russo up to Benedict. Over to Whitaker, but it's pushed away by the Breakers.
Yeah, it's good to see that Newport has their core back line back, because last time I was here, I think it was Allie in the back. She was out last time, and her and Emmy work really well together, so it's really good to see them back.
That's right. Allie was out as well as Anto Russo were both out, and the Sailors played to that 0-0 tie against Huntington. And the Sailors' back line was a big reason for that.
Absolutely.
Great defense in a game where it was really hard to see the ball. So big credit to Emily Park in that one as well for coming up with multiple saves when you couldn't even really see the soccer ball until it was right in front of you.
Yeah, super glad that we don't have to deal with that fog today.
Me too, just from a broadcast perspective and from a well-being perspective. It was so cold.
Yeah.
I brought my coat today. I brought my heaviest coat because of how cold I was last time we were here. Brielle, Benedict getting a touch there right at midfield. Back to Gaffney. And it'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Riley Good from the Laguna Beach side. Gaffney's going to throw it in quickly for the Sailors. Up towards Whitaker. Brielle gets her head on it, and then Gaffney going to chip it up ahead. On the far side, Lane Briggs fighting for it. Laguna pushes it up to Emily Park, who's going to bounce it a couple times, and she'll get ready to boot it away. Already, you know, I've only watched 2 games, Jess, so far this season. The defensive battle 2 weeks ago against Huntington in the fog, and then tonight. And already it just feels like the tempo and the attack and the overall vibe from Newport Harbor is turned up a couple notches here in this Wave League game.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you hear the words league and you're about to get into it, it's like everybody turns on that switch and they're ready to go, and they want to be these league champs and, you know, have a good
repeat as league champs, correct?
Oh, I think it's, 3 or 4 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
This would be their 4th year.
Forgive me for not giving credit. Current 3-peat, working on a 4-peat. Oh, good defense there by Sadie Hoke to take it away. Gaffney going to chip it up ahead in the direction of Issa Whitaker. Gaffney up the sideline. It goes out of bounds. Laguna will throw it in. Speaking of league, Sailors 2-0, looking to go to 3-0 in the Wave League, and then they'll play Fountain Valley Marina and Laguna, the 3 league teams. They'll play them again at the end of the season. But as you can comment on, Jess, I'm sure it feels great and builds your confidence to start off with a sweep of those teams in your first bout of league play.
Oh, yeah. It gives us confidence going into that second round of those 3 games. But it also builds a bit of a challenge for the other teams because they'll come out even stronger than they started because they're coming back for that kind of revenge feeling, wanting to beat us, knowing that they didn't beat us before.
Sure. Like to fire under them a little bit. You know, it's
Absolutely.
hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah.
Sailors trying to start something on attack. Laguna's Lauren Martin kicks it up towards the midfield. Now the Breakers trying to get something going on offense. Riley Good had it for a minute. Gigi Davila takes it away. Now great defense. Sadie Hoke had a lovely tackle just a little bit ago to take it away from Laguna. Oh, and a whistle there. They're going to say Delaney Gom. A little too physical. I liked it, but
Yeah, it didn't look too bad to me, but it's all up to the refs.
the Breakers player hit the deck, so
Little set piece from Laguna right now.
Sailors quickly get it back, coming the other way. Issa Whitaker up towards Benedict. Now Gaffney.
I think on that play, if Issa just held it a little bit longer in order to have the entire team transition up, they could have like 3 or 4 gaps to split the Laguna defense and get that ball on target.
Laguna's going to throw it in again. Hayes Frith on the sideline, throwing it in for them. The sophomore bounces it. Hoke and Whitaker defending. And then Emmy Deegan with the header. Now Allie Allie Thomas kicks it ahead towards Lane Briggs. Good steal by Laguna Beach. A shot to the right of the goal. Wide right, out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Emily Park.
That was good defense by Lane Briggs. She lost that ball, but she worked hard to get it back, and it resulted in Newport's ball.
And Park gets set to boot it away. Just over 10 minutes elapsed in the first half of this game. Still scoreless, 0-0. And with Newport 2-0 in the Wave League, looking a little bit too far ahead to the postseason. The top two in league do qualify for the postseason. So, obviously, league play, like you said, Jess, a switch flips when you hear league play because you know you're having an opportunity to qualify for the postseason. Nice play there by Benedict to get it back to Russo, and she tries to kick it ahead. She had Whitaker and Benedict streaking down the field, but Laguna disrupts that. Now Briggs just a little out ahead of Russo. Feels like the Sailors are just inches away from a really good opportunity on attack.
Yeah, that first 5 minutes, I would say, of this game probably should have ended up in a goal for Newport Harbor. But now it's just working to get that ball back in the middle, which they're doing a good job of, but capitalizing up top is their big issue right now.
Emily Park coming way out to kick it away, and she does. She gets it up to Sadie Hoke. She finds Benedict across midfield. Now back to Hoke. Sailors on the attack. Russo. Just a little short of Benedict, but Allie Thomas is there for the Sailors. Nice header by Thomas. Laguna keeps kicking it towards that Sailors back line, but Newport's always there. There's Russo. Hoke. She tried to find Lane Briggs cutting across.
Yeah, what I'm noticing between these two teams right now is Laguna just kind of wins it back from Harbor's attack and sends it up top, hoping that their forward just kind of gets up and gets that ball forward so that they can all transition. Versus when Newport Harbor gets the ball, they try and build that up by passing through the middle and trying to find those gaps and that ball over top so that they can finish and capitalize on it.
It certainly seems like the Sailors are finding the gaps, and then maybe the second pass is just a little bit in front or a little bit behind, and it feels like at any moment, once one of those passes is on target, the Sailors are going to put one in the goal. Good look here.
Sure.
Briggs right in front. Russo trying to track it down. Russo again with it. And Laguna clears that one out, way out of bounds in front of their bench. Sailors will throw it in. Over there, Delaney Gom going to throw it in for Newport.
That was surprising to see Anto hit that as a cross rather than a shot, because she has a really good shot, and she can hit it from anywhere on that 18 and even a little outside of it too. So
there's Whitaker. Outside to Briggs. Back to Davila. Right off the face of the Breakers defender, out of bounds. Still Sailors possession. Delaney Gom will throw it in for Newport. As the sun sets, clouds are overhead, but nothing like the fog we had 2 weeks ago. Here's Gom's throw in towards Briggs, just over her head. And again, Sailors continue to work their way down the far sideline, and Delaney Gom will track that one down way down in front of the visitor stands. Big thanks to everybody tuned in on TarTV, including head coach Justin Schroeder, who's out sick tonight. So the assistant coaching staff, Dallas Yowsey, Tish Hoke, Garrett Govars holding it down. Jessica Gardner, of course, I saw you down there with the team before, doing some coaching. Coaches at home tuned in, so Coach Schroeder Get well soon, and thanks for watching TarTV. And Benedict tries to cross it. It goes off of the Laguna defender, and we'll have our first corner of the night.
Let's see if Newport Harbor uses their set piece to their advantage, because they have some good set pieces, but haven't really used them as much as they should, in my opinion.
Sadie Hoke will take the corner for Newport. Russo closest to her. Corner on the way in front. Briggs is right there, and a save from Laguna. Great opportunity for Newport. Breakers dodge a bullet, and it's still 0-0 with 24 minutes, 30 seconds remaining until halftime. Whitaker back to Davila. Back up to Whitaker. Trying to get it to Briggs. And Carly Anderson, freshman, will watch it roll past the end line for Laguna and set up another goal kick for the Breakers. Pretty good opportunity, Jess, on that corner.
Yeah, I think what I tell my girls is to crash that back post, because a lot of the time the ball will bounce kind of awkwardly in that little 6-yard box, and they can have a clear shot at that back post. It's just having that run there and timing it right can be almost a guaranteed goal every time, depending on the team you're playing.
Russo chips it up, far sideline. Out of bounds. Laguna's throw incoming. And now the Sailors will throw it in. Change of possession. Delaney Gom will track it down on the far sideline and get ready to throw it in for Newport. Still Sailors possession, out of bounds. About 30 meters out. Gom will throw it in once again. Gom throws it in towards Benedict. She's going to stop it, fighting for it. And it goes out of bounds this time. Last touch by Gom, so the Breakers will throw it in. We got 22 minutes, 45 seconds until halftime, still scoreless. Jess, it's early in the game, obviously, about a quarter of the way through. What have you liked out of Newport so far?
I think all of their connections out of the back wing, those goal kicks, those punts from the Laguna Beach keeper, and just trying to look for those forwards, everything leading up to that top line has been really good from Newport Harbor. It's just that ball, like you said earlier, it's a little too short or a little too long, so it's hard for us to get on the end of it and get it in the back of the net.
Now Laguna's got it for a second, but Lane Briggs, way to keep it in bounds. Just to the right of midfield. Up ahead towards Whitaker, trying to get it to Russo, and Laguna interrupts that. Now Benedict's got it. 40 yards out. Hits it towards the middle. Whitaker's there. A collision. No whistles. Whitaker's on the ground. Still. The goalie came out and hip checked her. And now finally, we'll get a whistle. You hear the crowd here saying the goalie can't do that. What just happened, Jess? Goalie came way out of the goal, and there was a 3-person collision between Issa Whitaker, a Laguna Beach defender, and then the Laguna Beach goalie.
Yeah, it looks like it was about to be a Newport Harbor one-on-one with their keeper. And it just looks like keeper came out and played the player instead of the ball, at least in some of the parents' opinions. It's a little hard to see from here, but...
What, the keeper has to play the player? Is that the...
No, the keeper has to play the ball.
Sorry, has to play the ball. Yes, has to play the ball.
And by the reactions, it looks like she came out and went for Issa instead of that ball to avoid a goal. But plays like that could lead to penalty kicks, which probably should have been called then.
Well, Issa Whitaker is up on her feet, walking off after that collision, so you got to hope she's okay. And talking to Coach Schroeder earlier today, as well as you last week or our last game, Jess, Issa Whitaker, a transfer in from Costa Mesa, and she's been a real bright spot for the team this season.
Absolutely. When I was younger, I used to play with Issa, and she's always just been that hardworking player on that field, and it's really cool to see her, transfer to Newport Harbor and watch her play, and just watch her honestly shine on that field and show what she's got. And it's good that the coaches are taking advantage of her skills.
Well, she's smiling as she heads over to the bench, so I think she'll be all right as she takes a breather after that collision. Now we're right back at it. And here come the Sailors again, trying to set up something on attack. Sadie Hoke trying to get it back to Russo. Briggs fighting for it. Oh, now she's coming the other way on the far touchline. Briggs chips it up towards the goal. Goalkeeper's there for Laguna. Sam Wallace in the game now as well for Newport Harbor. Sailors fighting for it near midfield. Wallace in towards Hogue. Now to Benedict. Benedict in the middle of the field. He's got Briggs on the far touchline, and Benedict hits the turf. No whistle. Laguna's coming back the other way with it. Acacia Edwards up the far sideline for the Breakers. Not for long, as the Sailors get it right back, and there's Lane Briggs, who scored 3 goals in the last 2 games for Newport. Getting a touch on the far touchline. Here come the Breakers again. Kicking it way to the left to goal. Emily Park's going to come about 5 yards to the right of the goal. And she'll clear things out for Newport Harbor. Briggs again with the touch towards Benedict. Kicked out of bounds by Lauren Martin for the Breakers. And Emmy Deegan, Delaney Gom will throw it in for the Sailors. Right in front of the Breakers bench. There's Stella Gaffney, chipping it up towards the Newport Harbor side. It's kicked out of bounds by Ariel Taub, and it'll be a throw in again for Stella Gaffney and the Newport Harbor Sailors. 17 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Still no goals scored in this game for either team. Gaffney's throw goes over Wallace's head, and then Benedict gets a touch, kicks it towards the Laguna Breakers goal. And the Sailors are applying some pressure right now, about 20 yards out from the goal. Laguna trying to clear it. It rolls out of bounds in front of the Newport bench, and Gaffney will throw it in once again.
The backline for Laguna Beach just looks a little timid. Just some of their plays, rather than letting it roll out for a goal kick for them, they kick it back up. Newport Harbor wins that possession, and it's just like that cycle over and over again. So if Newport Harbor can take advantage of that, they should be probably at 3 goals by the end of this half.
I like the sound of that. I don't want to be the bad luck charm. We've only broadcast 1 game. There was no goal scored. And now we're over halfway through the first half, no goals scored. But it does look like the Sailors are ready to break it open.
All it takes for Newport Harbor is that 1 goal, and then they just keep coming back with more and more. That's what I've noticed after watching some of these varsity games this season, is just it's really hard to get that first goal, but after they get that first goal, it's super simple.
Good opportunity there for Laguna, broken up by Gaffney. Now Sadie Hoke going to push it the other way for the Sailors. On the near touchline, Gaffney up to Wallace. She tried to get it through to either Hoke or Russo, who were there at midfield. Out of bounds, Gaffney works quickly on the throw-in up towards Benedict. She's going to stop it with her right foot. Get it back in the middle towards Davila. Now, Allie Thomas at midfield, up to Russo. Russo, nice through ball to Davila. And here come the Sailors on attack.
Sadie Hoke is wide open in that middle gap.
No, she was right there. And the Sailors looked like they had an advantage there for a moment. Laguna kind of gets lucky there again.
Yeah, it looked like Gigi just had that ball kind of caught under her feet. If she had, that clean touch, I think it would have been a really good chance for us to get up.
Out of bounds again. Gaffney will throw in again. Wallace closest to her. She throws it over Wallace's head towards Brielle Benedict, who's standing right between two of the Laguna Breakers' white jerseys. They kick it out of bounds, and Gaffney throws it in again.
There's been a lot of opportunities for Newport with these, higher throw-ins kind of closer to the Laguna Beach 18, the box. But in the past few years, at least when I played, we had that one player that can just chuck it into the box, and it's almost like a corner. And I know that they have one of those players on their bench right now, and I think if they used her a little more to their advantage, they can have some serious opportunities in that box off throw-ins.
Some substitutions on the Laguna side of things. Lindsey Martin back in the game for them, and it'll be Hayes Frith throwing in on the Sailor sideline for the Breakers. She does throw it in, but Gaffney stops it with her right leg. Gets it to Wallace. Now back to Gaffney. Up towards Benedict, streaking towards the goal. Brielle is absolutely leveled, and that will draw a whistle, rightfully so. 20 yards out from the cage.
Yeah, I was about to say, if that wasn't a foul, then I'm not sure what game the refs are watching. So, but now we can see how Anto Russo has been practicing her set pieces, and I know she's really worked on these free kicks, especially from this exact spot. And so,
are you saying she could potentially put it in the goal from here?
Absolutely. I would not be surprised if she hits this on frame.
Anto Russo, the junior, 20 yards out from goal, getting ready for the free kick. Laguna looks a little bit out of sorts. Here it comes from Russo towards the goal, hooking. It's in! Goal! Oh, my goodness. Jess, you called it.
I did. I knew it was going to happen.
That was perfect. That was perfection. Oh, my gosh.
That was a beautiful shot.
That was beautiful.
All that hard work really pays off.
I mean, I feel like if you opened a soccer textbook on how to execute a free kick properly, and you would know because I've never read a soccer textbook, but I feel like that's what would be in there.
Exactly. Put a clip of that video. It's exactly what would be in that book.
Wow. Okay. 1-0. Sailors on the board. 12:30 to play in the first. And like you said, Jess, let's see now if that opens up even more scoring opportunities. The ladies start to have more confidence in themselves. The offense maybe plays a little bit more loose. And like you said, we could see 3 goals scored before the end of the first half. We have 1 so far on the Anto Russo free kick, but we get 2 more in these next 12 minutes.
Yeah. Laguna's going to come out strong. They're going to come out with, looks like a foul on Allie Thomas. But as I was saying, Laguna's going to come out strong. They're going to be hungry for that equalizer, which is going to, raise the bar for Harbor to play a lot stronger and just better too. So the tempo of this game can change completely after that goal.
That one goes out of bounds. Laguna feeling the pressure now, down 1-0. Final 11 minutes, 30 seconds of the first half. Will we see their offense pick up the tempo as they throw it in? Emmy Deegan pushes it away from the Breakers. Now Lane Briggs. Nice through ball towards Russo. She's got Benedict in front of her. Tries to get it through to Sadie Hoke on the far touchline. And it goes just past the end line. Free kick, or goal kick, excuse me, coming for Laguna Beach. Couple of substitutions getting ready to come in for the Sailors. Savannah Stewart, as well as Kate Kubiak, replacing Gigi Davila and Lane Briggs. Sailors lead 1-0. They won in their last game, 1-0 against Marina. Prior to that, 2-1 against Fountain Valley, And then our last broadcast here on TarTV was a 0-0 tie versus Huntington Beach. Newport Harbor looking to move to 3-0 in the Wave League. Currently sitting at 2-0 with those wins against the Barons and the Vikings. Nice cross on the way. Laguna Beach goalkeeper sliding to her knees and fielding that one. A great save there by the Breakers keeper. And she'll boot it away with 10 minutes left.
Yeah, that was a good decision by the keeper. It's situations like that where you have to make that quick choice of either going out and collecting that ball or staying on your line, being ready to react to that header or volley or whatever happens after the cross.
Brielle kicked it to herself, then almost split a pair of defenders. Laguna gets it back. Let's see if they can apply any kind of pressure on attack. Emily Park has been not too busy today. She comes way out of goal with the slide tackle. Now she's got to sprint back. And Savannah Stewart playing great defense and keeping Laguna from having a great opportunity. I feel like Emily Park was tired of not seeing any action down there. She sprinted 15 meters away from the goal and applied the slide tackle. Throw in from Gaffney. Now Emily will come up and pluck that one out of the air, get ready to boot it away. And Jess, that's what I respect about the goalkeeper, because you do have to make a split-second decision, and then you got to just stick with it.
Absolutely. If you hesitate, the ball's going in the back of your net. Anybody who has played goalie or coached goalkeepers will know if there's that slight bit of hesitation, it's over. So having that confidence and just having that, or being able to make those quick decisions in the back is what...
Oh, what a beautiful pass.
That was a great play by Newport Harbor.
Russo had Kubiak streaking towards the goal. That was beautiful. Laguna's goalkeeper was able to scoop it up off the turf, but Newport now looks like some of their passes, some of those things that were maybe an inch or two out ahead of the other player before now are a little bit more on target. They're starting to play a little more well-oiled. Hoke. Oh, trying to get it to Russo. It's booted away by Laguna. Emily Park is there. She'll bounce it once. 7:30 to play until halftime. Sailors lead 1-0. Anto Russo with the unassisted goal on the free kick in the 28th minute. The tiebreaker in this one. Now Russo on the near touchline. Has it taken away by the Breakers. Acacia Edwards trying to get it up ahead. She kicks it past Gaffney, but it will roll past the end line, and Emily Park again will kick it away.
Yeah, these Newport players do a really good job. If they lose that ball, they work almost like double time to get that ball back so that they don't have to worry about Laguna Beach getting that counterattack.
Anna Baum checks into the game for the first time, and good to see back out on the pitch, number 11, Issa Whitaker, who was involved in quite a collision with the Laguna Beach goalkeeper earlier in this half. She went to the bench for a minute. Now she's back in the game. Russo chips it up towards Whitaker. It goes out of bounds, last touched by Macy Draper from the Breakers. And Gaffney will throw it again for Newport, up towards Whitaker.
Oof.
Baum gets her first touch of the game and then ends up on the turf. Now Russo gets it back right at midfield for the Sailors, taken away by the Breakers. See what Laguna Beach can do before halftime on attack. In the corner, it is saved and then ricochets out of bounds by Laguna.
Yeah, you hear Dallas down there saying touch and play. There's a lot of what they think are opportunities to dribble that ball in the middle of the field, but it's in the middle on their half when they don't have that open space, and they just want to keep that ball to themselves so that they can be that person to get that ball up, which isn't key when Laguna is pretty good at stealing that ball back and being quick to get that ball back up. So getting that ball and zipping it through Laguna with 1 or 2 touches is how they can, or how Newport Harbor can really solidify their win today.
So, real quick here, Newport almost had a good opportunity there on attack. Actually, they still do. Delaney Gom tracking it down right in front of the bench of the Breakers. It's still in play. And that will certainly earn a whistle. Another violent collision. This time Kate Kubiak goes airborne, hops right back up, but a yellow card will be assessed. I believe that is number 9.
It looks like number 5.
Number 5. I need to get stronger glasses. Cadence Peary heads to the bench for Laguna after receiving a yellow card from our referee today.
Yeah, the numbers on Laguna's jerseys are a lot smaller than the ones on Newport
They
Harbor.
are.
So.
They need to get a bigger font. I feel like Newport's got like 24 font, and they've got size 12. It's hard to see. But regardless, a free kick from long range for Newport on the way. Whitaker in front of the goal. Shot just to the left. Whitaker got it to Sam Wallace. She gets the shot on goal. It misses to the left.
Yeah, it looks like the ref called offsides on that one, though.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Either way.
Right. If it went in, probably wouldn't have counted, which is unfortunate.
3:40 to play till halftime. Great defense there by Kate Kubiak. Now in front of the goal, Wallace had a touch for a moment. It's tracked down by Baum, trying to get it over to Russo. On the near touchline, Russo can't split the pair of defenders. Laguna going to bring it back. They kick it right over the head of Gaffney. And now the Breakers trying to get a shot on offense before halftime. They do. It misses, and Emily Park will kick it away for the Sailors. Final 3 minutes of this opening half. Likely a little bit of stoppage time coming. Park up towards Baum. In the last game we did, Jess, the 0-0 tie against Huntington, we saw the Sailors' back line defensively get tested throughout the game. I feel like tonight it's been a rarity to have them to say their names or to really have to have them make a play.
Absolutely. Yeah, Huntington was just on and on our back line, just testing them, making sure they're sharp back there. And they definitely showed that they are, because they worked really well together. Good catch by Emily.
Shot right in the chest to Emily Park, and she's there like a catcher in baseball. Now she's going to boot it away. Clock stops, 2 minutes to play in this half. Official's going to control that clock. Oh, Russo with a nice tackle and a late whistle.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You never know, though, with these, or what these refs are calling. Looks like, from my perspective, it looked like Anto won the ball and their bodies kind of collided, and that Laguna Beach player, number 7, took the hard end of the stick.
Macy Draper, Breakers Jr., will kick it away on the free kick. She passes it to her teammate. Whitaker deflects it, and Russo chips it back up towards Whitaker. If she can win this one, Sailors are streaking the other way. Oh, at midfield, Whitaker has it taken away by Laguna. Breakers trying to bring it back the other way. Acacia Edwards with a touch. And Gaffney's there for Newport. Fighting for it is Whitaker. Now Gaffney. Gaffney again kicking it away. Laguna getting it back.
Looks like there was a bit of hesitation by Delaney on that one. I think if she followed her run and really committed to that ball, she could have stepped in front of that pass and had that counterattack for Newport. But it looks like Laguna's a pretty physical team, and especially after they scored that goal, or got scored on by Newport, they're very eager and just
Dialing up the physicality a little bit.
absolutely, yeah.
That one goes out of bounds. Laguna going to work quickly. Waning moments of this opening half. Sailors lead 1-0. Laguna trying to get on the board, find the equalizer. Sailors offense and attack has had the ball most of the evening, and when tested, the defense has been airtight. Here's Whitaker right at midfield. It's kicked out of bounds, and apparently they'll say last touch by Newport. Another throw-in coming for Laguna. Riley Good throws it up towards the sideline. Deflected by Emmy Deegan. Now booted up ahead towards Whitaker. Let's see if the Sailors can do something before the horn sounds for the half. Whitaker.
Oh, fine. Sorry about that.
What did you want her to do there?
I thought she could have found that chip ball over to Anna, and that could have been a really good opportunity.
Over on the far side?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Well, that does it for the first half. Sailors get one goal. Anto Russo, free kick, a beautiful free kick in the 28th minute, is the difference maker so far. 1-0, Sailors lead, 10 minutes on the clock for halftime. We'll have the second half when we come back. Newport Harbor Girls Soccer taking on the Laguna Beach Breakers in Wave League action. You are watching on TarTV. saw a lot of people posting about that.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Harry Styles, but that's maybe I would. Maybe I should.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's not even like I like the artist that much. It's just like that
Going to
whole
the concert.
Yeah.
The Forum is really cool.
I love the Forum.
I've only been to one show there. I went right before COVID. I saw Tame Impala. It was so
I heard.
sick.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The next day, like they canceled their tour because of COVID.
Yeah.
I want to see him again. They came to the Hollywood Bowl or the Greek Theater.
Oh, I think it was the Hollywood Bowl.
And I missed him, and I saw my friend post that he was there, and I was like, oh my god, like I would have gone. I live like pretty close to there in LA, and I'm like, dude, I would have gone. I haven't been to a concert in a while, man. I need to go.
Yeah. I've like a ton lined up for this year, so I'm hoping,
Which one? Which ones are you excited about?
I'm going to Coachella first.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. I've never been.
See, I've never been either, but I saw the lineup they had this year, and
It's really good.
Yeah.
I know my friend was like, dude, we should go. It's been COVID, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I'll go, just because I haven't been to an event like that in so long.
Yeah, I've never been to like a festival.
I haven't been in a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't been since I was like 22. I think Coachella would be cool. All my friends have gone. I just haven't.
Yeah, I have a friend that's gone, but she went like I guess they have 1-day passes or something
Okay.
like that. But
What other concerts lined up?
oh my gosh, what's it? In March I go. You know who Youngblood is?
Youngblood. No.
Yeah, it's like he's not a bigger one. It's like
What kind of music?
like alternative
Okay.
rock, I would
Okay.
say.
I don't know Youngblood.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything.
But right. But yeah, in March, and then what is it? June. I go to 5 Seconds of Summer.
Okay. I don't listen to them, but I've heard of them.
Yeah. I see them at the Palladium.
Okay, sick.
Have you been to that venue?
Maybe. Let me look. I don't think I have actually.
I'm not a fan of it personally.
Where is it? It's in LA, right?
I think it's on Sunset.
Where? Oh no, I've never been. I know where it is. I've never been.
Yeah.
Never been.
My friends had problem with like the security there, and then just like.
Yeah, I know right where that is.
It's like pretty much you walk in, and it's like you have those outer, just like kind of halls. Where it's like merch stands would be, bathrooms would be, and then it's just like a room. And it could be good for smaller artists, but they think that they can just fit like
a ton of people.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude,
no. I went to a show when I was in New York. I've actually gone to some shows lately. I've just gone to like smaller shows with friends.
Right.
I haven't gone to like a big show. I went and saw my friend's band in LA in December, and then we all got COVID, including the whole band.
Oh my gosh.
And like everyone that went, except for my roommate somehow. I think he's immune because like he keeps getting exposed. But yeah, we all got COVID. The whole band got COVID, but it was like the whole band got COVID, and then they had to cancel their next tour date, which was in Boston, which sucked because they had like this whole East Coast trip.
Yeah, I had like a ton of stuff planned for COVID, and then
Sure.
COVID happened. But because when was it? March or no? Yeah, like early 2020.
March 2020.
Me and then like Justin Schroeder were all convinced that I had it. When was it? My junior year, because I was out for probably a month, and I've never been sick like that in my life, which is weird because I just had COVID like a month ago, and it wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
But then.
So you might have had it that first time.
Probably. It was literally. It's like, oh my god, I'm like still recovering now. It was that bad.
From when you had it.
Yeah, here.
2020.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Cause like, Jamie, remember when I got sick my junior year and Itzio was playing? Yeah. That's just what I'm talking about right now.
Oh, okay.
But that was like.
You might have had like. You might
still
have.
having issues from that?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, I had like mega weight loss. Like I lost like 15, 20
Whoa.
pounds.
So you might have had like some crazy early COVID.
I had a stomach issue a couple years ago too.
Yeah.
Where I lost like 15 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
All I could eat was like a spoonful of oatmeal just to get medication down.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I atrophied really bad.
Damn.
I had that, and then I'd get like, I don't know if it was like vertigo, but it'd be like fatigue. So I'd stand up, and it'd be like I'm fine for a little bit, and then I'd get like waves of like nauseous.
Yeah, I couldn't I could barely walk around.
Well, let's do it right now. I'm gonna have Mesh come on really quick just to. Guy's a star. Just for a second, okay? All right, Mesh.
You still get paid. Jess, don't worry, you still get paid.
All right, welcome back in to TarTV. Thanks to everybody tuned in. We're just about a minute or two away from the second half kicking off here between the Sailors and the Breakers, but we have, joining me now on the broadcast, Jess Gardner will be back in a second,
Yes.
but we have a special guest, Aiden Messerschmidt, the
Yep.
Fresh Mesh,
Yep.
Newport Harbor class of 2021, and you've been helping out with these
Yes.
TarTV broadcasts
Yep.
prior to graduating, but now you're
Yeah.
back here tonight. I know that you're working now for the Newport
Yeah.
Harbor baseball team.
Yes, I
so
am.
that's
Yep.
awesome, Mesh. Thanks
Yeah.
for hopping on. And
Yeah.
I know that you're a big fan of head coach Justin
Yes,
Schroeder.
I am.
who's-
Hopefully.
He's homesick today.
Yeah. Hey, Schroeder, we miss you. Hopefully you feeling better. I love when you're here coaching. I love talking to you. I love the way you coach your girls and you make them score goals. And Anto scored a nice free goal kick tonight. And we just love having you out here. And hopefully you feel better and we get to see you again. So, yeah.
So get well soon, Coach
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Mesh, before we let you go,
Yes.
because the game's starting back up,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on this game so far?
I thought that goal by Anto was amazing. I that was a pretty good goal. I thought that was amazing.
That was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, Mesh.
All
Well,
right.
hey, thanks for hopping
Yes.
on TarTV. We'll have to do it
Yeah.
again sometime. Great
yeah.
to see you,
Hey,
man.
Schroeder, get better.
Go Sailors.
Go Sailors.
All right, the Fresh Mesh legend from class of 2021. Always hopping on and helping out with our TarTV broadcasts. And another Newport Harbor class of 2021, Jess Gardner, the former goalkeeper, sitting here with me. A beautiful pass
Came back right in time. Just
and
to
a
witness
goal. Wow. That was Issa Whitaker on a beautiful pass from Lane Briggs. Lane Briggs with the assist. Issa Whitaker with the header. She took a spill earlier in the game, bounced back, and puts that one right in the back of the net. Sailors quickly.
Yeah, another picture-perfect play by Newport Harbor. That was really cool to watch. I almost missed it walking back to the mic. I'm glad I got to see it.
Well, right in the nick of time, you were able to hop on, and we had, like you said, what a pass by Lane Briggs. Just
Right.
beautiful, just textbook. And Issa was right there to put it in. And the Sailors lead 2-0. Getting to work quickly here in the second half. Just about 90 seconds elapsed. I don't even have my glasses on yet. And we're already scoring goals. Okay, Sailors lead 2-0. 38 minutes to play in this game. First goal coming from Anto Russo in the 28th minute on a free kick. And that one coming from Issa Whitaker on the pass from Lane Briggs in the 41st minute. And now the Sailors really feel just like they're in control of this thing.
For sure. And honestly, that's when Newport performs their best, is when they are already in the game and they feel like they have it in the bag. They feel like they can just have fun, which is when they perform at their best.
That looked fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, both of these goals have been just so beautiful. Just beautifully drawn up. I hope Coach Schroeder is enjoying at home this lovely performance from the Sailors tonight, as Allie Thomas tracks that one down on the far sideline. It goes out of bounds, and Laguna Beach will throw it in. With Coach Schroeder out, we got Dallas Yowsi, Tish Hoke, and Garrett Govars running the show tonight, and that's a pretty good assistant coaching staff, Jess.
Absolutely.
Tish Hoke on the 99 Women's World Cup team. Dallas Yowsi, a coach at Cal State LA. They just won the Division II National Championship on the men's side of things. And then Garrett Govars teaches here, and he grew up playing soccer with Coach Schroeder. So you got, just top to bottom, a real strong assistant coaching staff. Coach Schroeder, I talked to him earlier today. He said he had no worries. He said they might even be better off with him watching at home.
Yeah, all of these coaches have super unique qualities, and they all just come together. And it's always so much fun to work with them. And from being a player to being a coach, it's just cool to talk about soccer, and it's just like a super fun thing to do.
Good look there by Laguna.
Almost looked like it curved towards goal and then out towards goal by the way Emily was trying to react to that ball. Kind of hit the net with her gloves a little bit.
with that 41st minute goal from Issa Whitaker. That's her third of the season, all three coming on headers. So you got Lane Briggs scoring 3 goals in the Sailors' previous 2 games, 2 against Fountain Valley, 1 against Marina. Then tonight, Anto Russo and Issa Whitaker with the 2 goals, Lane Briggs with the assist. And you see those star power names for Newport Harbor playing to their full potential like we thought they could earlier in the season. You've seen that on display here as the Newport Harbor Sailors have entered Wave League play.
One thing that the Sailors need to keep in mind is even though they are up 2 goals, they should not let up, and they should just continue to, keep pushing on Laguna and working to get that 3rd, 4th, and just, shut them out and have a crazy goal lineup on their record.
Let's do it. I would enjoy that from up here.
And especially with Battle of the Bay coming up on Thursday, it's a really good confidence booster. And, kind of way to, nudge at CDM saying, hey, we're not messing around. We're here to win. Season, we're here to beat you guys.
It's always good to beat CDM.
Oh, yeah.
In any sport, at any level, on any day, you always want to beat the Sea Kings and send a statement, send a shot across the bay. Here's a good look momentarily for the Sailors, but a whistle's going to kill that one.
Yeah, it looked like the ref saw a bit of an arm lock between Sam Wallace and number 22 on Laguna Beach. Looked like she was trying to shield it, but could have been a little more physical than what we thought.
Russo on the sideline warming up, getting ready to come back in. Wallace was going to be all alone one-on-one with the Laguna Beach goalkeeper there, but the whistle, they're going to say that was some sort of an arm lock or something against the rules by Wallace. And now Laguna takes the free kick. Gaffney takes a spill, and Sailors looking to get the ball back on attack, which is where they've had the ball most of the time tonight. Davila back to Gaffney. Laguna trying to work it up the far touchline. It rolls out of bounds. Last touched by the Breakers. And Emmy Deegan will track it down on the far sideline. Gaffney getting set to throw it in. 33 minutes to play in this game. Sailors lead 2-0. Russo checks in, replacing Sam Wallace. Russo, a junior. Sam Wallace, a senior. And now Gaffney going to throw it in for Newport. Gaffney up the far sideline, out of bounds. Laguna ready to throw it in, working quickly are the Breakers. Hayes Frith gets a touch. Let's see if the Breakers can do anything on offense. They haven't had a ton of looks today. Momentary opportunity there. Good defense by Davila. Now Russo has it coming the other way. Taken away by Acacia Edwards. Benedict applying pressure. It goes out of bounds. They're going to say Brielle Benedict touched it last. She's right back on defense.
Yeah, that was some stressful stuff for Newport in that back.
Now Benedict up ahead. Gets it over to Hoke. Back to Briggs. Russo to Briggs. And Laguna gets it back. There's Sadie Hoke right in front of the Breakers bench. To Whitaker. Over to Benedict. Now Briggs has it. About 30 yards out. Oh, trying to get it inside to Brielle. Sailors still have an opportunity as Hoke applies some pressure. Gaffney gets it back. Skies that one towards Briggs. She's going to stop it. Laguna pokes it out. Back to Russo, out of bounds, last touch by Laguna. Sailors' attack looks aggressive right now.
I think if Lane kind of leaned back and let that hit off of her chest so she could collect it rather than letting it roll off of her body, could have, resulted in a good cross into that box.
Throw in towards Hoke. Deflected.
Oh, great cross. Good idea by Delaney right there.
This one kicked out of bounds again. Beautiful cross by Delaney Gom. 30 minutes to play. 10 minutes elapsed in the second half. Sailors leading 2-0. They scored in the 28th minute and the 41st minute. So a goal in each half thus far, as Newport looks to move to 500 on the season. Currently sitting at 7-8-4. 2-0 in Wave League. A perfect 3-0 would be a great start to the season. And how about that defense by Emmy Deegan, poking it the other way for Newport Harbor. Benedict on the far touchline, trying to change the point of attack. Can she save it? No, it rolls out past the back end line, but more aggression there from the Sailors' midfield and attack, and they've just had the pressure dialed up all day.
Yeah, this first 15 minutes of this second half is going to be, the best soccer we've seen in this game, because both teams are coming out from that first half wanting more from what they delivered. And so, yeah, what I was saying earlier, the tempo is just going to be a lot higher. Looks like a handball by Laguna.
So that will give the ball back to the Sailors. 29 minutes to play in this game. And we are in the first of our 2 series of league play. Sailors going for the sweep of their Wave League opponents, the Fountain Valley Barons, the Marina Vikings, and here the Laguna Beach Breakers. They will play them again at the end of the season. Russo in front of the goal. 20 yards out, cutting in with the shot. It's deflected by Laguna, then kicked out of bounds. Good defense by the Breakers. It took a trio of Breakers defenders to stop Anto Russo, and they're going to say that she last touched it, so I stand corrected.
I mean,
I think
don't
everyone's
think
a little
she did,
confused.
yeah.
I think everyone's a little confused about that one.
Looked like it went off one Laguna player to another.
Well, there was one Newport, and there was 3 Laguna.
It's almost like, for the refs, it's like logic at that point, making those decisions, which some make the right, some don't.
Regardless, Sailors working to get the ball back. Briggs with a touch briefly. And there's a foot race to the ball. It's kicked out of bounds by Thomas. Laguna will throw it in. That was good defense by Newport. Sailors back line playing well tonight. Obviously, them and Emily Park have held Laguna scoreless, but they've been playing well over the last few games. A 0-0 tie against Huntington back on January 6th. Then a 2-1 win, then a 1-0 win. So over the last 3 games, 3.5 if you count this one, only 1 goal given up, and that was to Fountain Valley. Here come the Sailors on attack. Russo in the middle, trying to get the through ball.
I think I saw Brielle calling for that ball. I think she should have played Brielle in that one. She had that wide open gap on that left side.
She went for Whitaker in front of her. You're thinking change the point of attack to Brielle on the left side.
Yeah, because Issa's in that middle spot with those 3 defenders with her. When Brielle had, maybe even one, I'd say none on that outside spot. And even if she had one, she can take on that 1v1 and probably be pretty successful, knowing her skills.
Here comes Laguna the other way. Easy work for the Sailors. Out of bounds, Laguna possession.
Looks like a counterattack by Newport. Lane can find Sadie. Good ball.
Briggs to Hoke.
Perfect
Towards
ball.
Benedict, a little bit out in front.
just a little less pressure on that ball, and that would have been a great ball. That's exactly what I was talking about in the play before, finding Brielle on that outside.
It feels like it's there. Once the Sailors are able to connect on it, we'll have a real good look from Brielle on the outside.
It's the idea is right in their head. It's just executing it is a little on the shakier side today.
And a goal kick coming from Laguna Beach.
Bit of an iffy ball up that middle spot.
It goes right to Lane Briggs. Then Laguna takes it away. Collision, no whistle.
Playing
Davila.
that advantage. That's a good ball.
She gets it over to Hoke. Here comes Hoke. Oh, nice ball. Russo shot just to the left of the goal. And it was deflected by a Breakers defender. We have a corner kick coming for Newport.
That was really good soccer by Newport. I think if it didn't get deflected, it could have been either on that back left post or even in the net. It's hard to tell from the stands up here.
Hard to tell, but clearly was a great shot by Russo.
Oh, yeah.
That was then deflected. So we got a corner. Like you said, beautiful soccer by the Sailors. Great ball movement.
And it's super quick, too. Like, I didn't even know that they had a deflection. That's how fast they're moving and trying to get that third goal.
So who is that over in the corner for the kick? Is that
Sadie's taking the
okay.
kick, and Anto's there in case they want to do a 2v1.
Sadie kicks it. Briggs tries to get her head on it. It's cleaned up by the Laguna goalkeeper, and she will kick it away. Caroline Bartlett in goal for Laguna Beach. 24 minutes to play in this game. Sailors still lead 2-0. And the Breakers cross midfield with it. Gaffney clears it out, gets it over towards Benedict. Back to the Breakers. Great defense by Stella Gaffney, making life difficult for any Breakers midfielder who's trying to bring it up past midfield. It goes out of bounds, and it is last touched by Laguna Beach.
I think in situations like this, the back line for Newport Harbor should be up, stepping their whole line so that, you know, the forwards can feel like they can transition, and then the mids feel like they can transition, and then they move as a unit. But right now it just looks like the attack's kind of moving up, and when the ball's not on that back line, they kind of look a little more relaxed when, you know, even though you're up 2-0, there's still time in this game, so there shouldn't be, you know, much time or much concern to relax rather than get it up and keep crashing that goal.
Well, we saw on that previous play, Jess, that the Sailors were trying again to get it to Brielle Benedict. Now Lane Briggs with a good look right into the midst of Caroline Bartlett. But previously you saw, again, they tried to get it to Brielle streaking up that left side, the far side of the field. Again, pass was just a little bit offline, but it seems like it's been there
Oh, yeah.
all night for the Sailors.
It's like you can almost sense that a play like that is going to happen when they just try it over and over and they get so close. It's like there's going to be that play where Brielle gets that perfect ball and she dribbles in and there's either a shot on frame or saved by the keeper in a deflection.
Benedict to Briggs. Disrupted by Laguna. Hayes Frith on the defense for the Breakers. Now up, Allie Thomas briefly with a touch. Laguna trying to get it back. Nice defense by Thomas. Here comes Laguna Beach. A little bit of life for the Breakers. Good look here for Peary. Shot and a goal. Just to the left of Emily Park, who lays out for that one. Cadence Peary, number 5, the junior from Laguna Beach, puts it in the back of the net. And the Breakers are on the board, 2-1. Now your score, 21 minutes, 20 seconds to play in this game.
You know, that comes from exactly what I was talking about before. It's like the back line was a little more relaxed. They felt like they didn't really need to get that ball out. And when you have all of that pressure on you as a defender, it's just good to clear that ball out and get it up and out rather than trying to connect through the middle, especially when there's 3-4 Laguna Beach players trying to bombard you and get that ball back, which is why that counterattack happened.
So that's the first goal given up by the Sailors in a match and a half. Still good defense played by the Sailors over the last couple weeks. 1 goal given up to Los Al, 1 goal to Fountain Valley, now 1 to Laguna. So just 3 goals given up over the last 5 games. And let's see how aggressive the Sailors are on attack coming out after that Breakers goal. Briggs with the cross, deflected, and a corner is coming. 20 minutes, 20 seconds to play in this match. Sailors looking to move to 3-0 in Wave League. Top 2 in league qualify for the postseason, or if you finish at 500 or above, you can get an at-large berth. Sailors, with a win tonight, would also move back to 500 on the season. Currently, Newport Harbor sitting at 7, 8, and 4. And Newport Harbor looking for the 4-peat as Wave League champions. Russo on the cross in front of the goal. Punched out of the sky by Bartlett for Laguna Beach. And the Breakers try to trigger a counterattack. It's mishandled. And Gaffney will throw it in on the far sideline for the Breakers. Hoke chips it up. And a whistle. That's certainly a push in the back. Whitaker hits the deck. She was shoved down. A free kick coming for Newport. Gaffney working quickly. Chips it up ahead towards Briggs. Just a bit too far. It rolls out past the back end line, and a goal kick coming for Laguna Beach.
Yeah, it looks like Newport kind of rushed that one. And, coaches all had the same reaction as I did as to, why rush it, A, when you're winning this game, and B, when you can get more players up rather than just having Lane in that back post spot. It's better to have more people to rely on, like 5 or 6 players crashing the goal rather than just one, with that chance being a lot smaller with less people.
Good job by Whitaker controlling it, keeping it to herself. Now Lane Briggs, long-range shot. Bartlett's there. Lane Briggs letting it fly. She's had the hot hand or the hot foot as of late. 3 goals over the previous 2 games. She has an assist tonight. Russo and Whitaker, the other goals for the Sailors. Here comes Laguna in the middle, disrupted by Emmy Deegan. She gets over to Briggs right in front of the Sailors bench. Nice pass in the middle to Davila, trying to chip it up ahead to Whitaker. And kicked up high in the air by Laguna Beach. Now here's Russo, over to Briggs. Briggs looking to change the point of attack. She still has it. Slowing things up. Gom. Briggs. Briggs, the cross. Kicked out of bounds. Another corner coming for Newport. Substitution. Lane Briggs heads over to the sideline. She's replaced by Sam Wallace, the senior. Briggs, a junior. And a corner coming with Russo and Sadie Hoke standing in the near corner for Newport Harbor.
Looks like there's a substitution on that Laguna Beach side. Injury for one of their players.
We see Lauren Martin, the junior, heading out for the Breakers, walking a little bit gingerly over to the sideline. Looks like maybe an ankle. And now the corner coming from the freshman, Sadie Hoke. Corner on the way, in front of the goal. Oh, just to the right. Wallace got a foot on it. It went just to the right of the goal. It was close. No goal, but close. And Laguna will boot it away. 2-1 your score. 16:30 to play. And you probably can't see it on your TarTV broadcast, but the moon is stunning tonight as it sets in the distance behind. I guess the moon doesn't set. The moon is rising right now. The moon rises in the distance behind Saddleback. The sun has set. The moon is rising. It's a great moon. Gaffney's going to throw it in for Newport. Now, Jess, I heard it was told to me that 2-1 with a 2-1 lead is the most dangerous position to be in a soccer game.
Absolutely. If you're that losing team, you have that drive, to get that equalizer, and then once you do get that equalizer, it's like you have so much more confidence, feeling like it's a 0-0 game, and you can possibly even end up on top. So if the Sailors play like how they did at the end of that first half, just strong and confident, they can definitely get that third or fourth goal and, kind of show Laguna who owns this game.
Thomas tracks it down in front of the Sailors bench. It's kicked out of bounds by Laguna. Gaffney throws it in quickly. Benedict stops it, trying to split a double team. Laguna gets it back. Cadence Peary, she's got the lone goal for the Breakers, and she's darting towards the goal the other way. Good defense by the Sailors' back line. Peary, number 5 for Laguna, has looked dangerous when she's had the ball tonight. Wallace in the middle, Davila. Just under 15 minutes to play. Sailors holding on to that 2-1 lead. Laguna did score the last goal. Benedict all alone, not a defender, within 10 yards, and she's going to dribble it up for the Sailors. 40 yards out from goal. Now 30, trying to get it inside. Benedict's tripped up. It's kicked out of bounds. Sailors will retain possession.
Brielle had a lot of options up there. She had Anto on that run to that right corner flag, and she also had what looks like Sam and Issa on that far side, ready for that ball to split down the middle.
Substitution. Whitaker and Benedict checking out for the Sailors. Lane Briggs and Kylie Lopez checking in. Good game for both Whitaker and Benedict tonight. Whitaker with a goal, her third of the season. All 3 coming off of her head, by the way. And Benedict just playing her textbook high level of play that we expect out of her. And the Sailors trying to get her the ball throughout the game. And the passes, if one of those had been there, I'm certain we would have had a beautiful shot on goal from Brielle. Long-range throw-in. Almost gets to Briggs.
Yeah, that was a great throw by Kylie Lopez. That's the player I was talking about, who's kind of their secret weapon for throw-ins, almost like that player that I played with all 3 years of being on varsity.
Who's that?
Alyssa Sims.
Oh, I remember from last year. Great throw-ins. Great throw-ins.
Yeah, and it's almost like Kylie's coming back as that newer player to almost replace that spot as being that core player for those throw-ins, because Alyssa's throw-ins were crazy and definitely helped us out. They're almost like having corners.
Here comes a throw-in from Laguna. Davila boots it up in the air, out of bounds. Laguna will throw it in again. 12:30 to play.
Yeah, there was some spin on that ball by Gigi. She just tried to rip through it with her laces rather than kind of trying to place it with the inside of her cleat, which is why it spun out of bounds rather than going up the field towards that Laguna goal.
Macy Draper throwing it in for the Breakers. Throws it right off the head of Lane Briggs. Sam Wallace gets it over to Russo. Let's see what the Sailors can do here. It's cleared out by Laguna. Thomas. Back to Gom. Now Deegan in the middle. Peary really trying to apply pressure. She's the Breakers' brightest spot of tonight's game, and perhaps their lone hope to find the equalizer. Under 12 to play. 2-1 Sailors lead, but number 5 for the Breakers, Cadence Peary, Jr., has the last goal of the game in the 58th minute. Sailors will throw it in on the far sideline. We have one more Newport Harbor girls soccer broadcast. One more guaranteed Newport Harbor girls soccer broadcast in the postseason. Who knows? Maybe we'll make the postseason. We don't know yet. I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch. But if they do, we could potentially broadcast a game. But we will do senior night coming up on February 1st. I believe that is a Tuesday here from Newport Harbor High School. We'll have senior night. So make sure you tune in for that one as Lopez checks out and Brielle Benedict checks back in after a quick breather. Just over 10 minutes to play. And Gaffney throws it in on the far sideline for the Sailors. Benedict coming in right away off the bench, getting involved on the action. That one's chipped over towards Hoke. Russo tracks it down, now back to Hoke. To Russo. 20 yards out, Russo shot! Sails high, hits the American football crossbar.
Looks like it kind of slipped off of Anto's foot a little bit. I think if she got what she wanted to get on that ball, it could have been a really good ball in frame. Kind of like her set-piece goal earlier.
Benedict traps that one. Now Russo gets a touch, tries to tip it over to Briggs. Header from Gaffney over to the freshman Hoke. Benedict with the header. Single digits on the clock here at Davidson Field as Laguna tries to bring it back the other way. Davila defending. It goes out of bounds. And Laguna will throw it in right in front of their bench. Try to find that equalizer. Number 5, keep an eye on her, the junior. Cadence Peary has looked aggressive and speedy with the ball on her feet tonight. Good defense there by Newport. Now Briggs tracks it down. Can she kick it up the near touchline? No, she's going to stop it. Has it kicked out of bounds, and the Sailors will keep possession. Great play there by the junior Lane Briggs. Gom, overhead throw, up towards Wallace. At midfield, Wallace over to Benedict. Brielle sprinting, working to track it down. She does. Tripped up. And Brielle kicks it towards the goal. No foul, no whistle, and the crowd not liking that here at Davidson Field.
Yeah, ref played that advantage, but, you know, it went right back to that Laguna possession, so, yeah. Crowd did not like that call very much. This back line for Newport has to make sure they don't get, you know, drifted too far to the left or to the right, because Laguna likes to have those, you know, players on that outside gap ready for anything to pop out of the box.
Laguna throws it in. Sailors got numbers there. Up ahead towards Lane Briggs. It runs into the referee. What happens there, Jess?
Well, it looked like it was Newport possession, and
so they get
so
a free
that's
kick.
Almost. It's just like, I've never really understood those plays either, but ref kind of rolls it back to Newport when they had full possession, and that's why it resulted in Laguna getting that possession again.
Russo kicks it up towards Benedict. Now, back in the middle, Russo hits it back. Laguna dialing up the pressure. Peary. Sailors are there. Looked like potentially the Laguna attacker was offsides. No whistle.
Yeah, I have to agree with the crowd on that one. That was, you know, like 4 or 5 yards offside, at least from what I saw. But
good job by Delaney Gom to clear that and play great defense for the Sailors. Now Lane Briggs gets it over to Wallace. Shoved in the back, no whistle. And it's kicked right into the Sailors bench. Possession. Newport. And I think what you pointed out earlier, Jess, is certainly true. This Laguna team, whether out of frustration or just their style, they have turned up the physicality of the play here.
Yeah. Laguna's always been that, like, kind of chippy team wanting to get on that top of that scoreboard.
Gom kicks it right into Peary. It goes out of bounds. And the Sailors will throw it in. 6:30 to play in this game. Newport leading 2-1. But you have noticed the intensity turned up a couple notches from Laguna. Refs kind of letting them play here a bit.
Yeah, that could be a good or a bad thing because, you know, when refs don't call some things, it could lead to injuries, which, you know, you don't want for either teams.
Gom will throw it in. She gets it up to Briggs. Triple team of defenders comes. Briggs able to tap it towards Russo. Laguna tries to bring it back the other way. Now Deegan. Benedict sprinting towards the sideline. She gets there, and then it is kicked out of bounds. Possession, Newport Harbor. Davila.
Yeah, ones like that roll back to me were always my favorite, especially when we're up. Kind of just let that ball hang out at your feet, waste that time. But doesn't look like Emily wants to waste any time. She wants to get that ball right back up to her forwards to get that third goal for Newport.
We've seen how many scoring opportunities the Sailors have had tonight, how many good looks they've had, not just shots on goal, but good opportunities that were maybe one pass away or one touch away from being a good look. So I think I like the aggression there out of Newport Harbor.
It's all about the vibe of the game.
Well, here's Russo sprinting up the far sideline in the middle of the goal. A shot just over the top crossbar. Briggs with just a little too much mustard on that one, but there you go. Another great look from the Sailors.
Right. I think if she just had her body over it a little bit, it could have been down into that net. Because when you lean back, that's when it goes over.
Wallace. Oh, taken away by Benedict. Pushed towards the goal. Briggs tracking it down. She stops it. She's got Russo sprinting in front of the goal. A shot, and it's in! Goal! Angel Russo, second goal of the game. Lane Briggs, second assist. And the Sailors put the nail in the coffin with that one. 3-1, they lead, 4 minutes to play. Benedict started that with the takeaway. Briggs, the speed, kept it in play. And Russo with the finishing touch.
I was just about to say what you just said. You took the words right out of my mouth. It started with that kind of iffy Laguna goal kick, and Brielle really took advantage of that, and we all, meaning the team, wanted to capitalize on that, and they definitely did.
Russo with a goal in the 28th minute and the 76th minute. Lane Briggs with her second assist of the night. She came into tonight scoring the Sailors' last 3 goals over a 2-game span, and now tonight she gets involved with the passing, responsible for both assists in this game. The other goal coming, of course, on the free kick, unassisted goal from Russo to open things up. 3-1, 3 minutes to play until full time, as the moon has now fully risen over Saddleback. You probably can't see it on your TVs, but it is beautiful. Here comes Laguna. Desperation time for the Breakers.
Good decision by Emily Park to punch that one. It's ones like that for goalkeepers where you're like kind of iffy on being able to catch it, and so the smarter decision is to punch it out just for safety purposes, and that was the right decision she made right there.
Here's Briggs after the pass from Wallace, crossing midfield. Briggs is at, I was going to say at the 20-yard line, 30 yards out. Out of bounds it goes. Sailors will keep possession. Newport applying the pressure, keeping Laguna from having any opportunity to get anything going on attack. And Delaney Gom will track the ball down and get ready to throw it in for Newport, leading 3-1. Clock stops, 2 minutes to play. We'll have some stoppage time. Although probably not too much, not too many stoppages here.
Yeah, it should end around, the ending 90-minute time.
Wallace, the cross. Just about a foot behind the goal. And a goal kick coming for Laguna in the final minutes of this Wave League matchup. Hoke getting tangled up. They're going to call her for the foul. She doesn't like it at all. The official, no. I've been really impressed. I keep forgetting, Jess, that Hoke's just a freshman. I've been really impressed with her defense in the 2 games that we've watched so far.
Oh, yeah. Even though Sadie is a freshman, she's been around for probably as long as I've been around, because Tish would always bring her to these trainings, and she just wants her to succeed as much as she wants the rest of the teams to succeed.
Well, she certainly, Sadie Hook, plays like a veteran player.
I agree.
Just a freshman on the roster, but excited to see how her career develops here over the next 4 years. Sailors still playing tight defense as Peary, who has the lone goal for the Breakers, gets a touch. Back to Lund, poked away by Newport. And here comes Hoke the other way with it, up to Wallace. Wallace has Hoke and Benedict in front of her. That Laguna back line going to kick it away. And now Thomas will have it for Newport. She keeps possession, pushes it up ahead, stopped by Hoke. Assuming the horn will sound at any moment here as Russo kicks it up the sideline.
Your ref's checking out his watch. There's probably not much time left on that clock.
It goes out of bounds. Laguna will throw it in. In any moment now, we will put a bow on this one, and the Sailors will look to move to 3-0 in the Wave League. And move to 8-4 on the season. That one rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, a little too much power by Anto on that one.
Laguna getting ready for another throw-in. This game effectively over. And the Sailors, after sort of a choppy start to the season, a lot of tough losses, a lot of one-goal losses. In fact, every loss this season has been a one-goal loss to very good opponents. Newport playing some of the best opponents in Southern California to open the season. They had a losing record. They moved back to 500 tonight, 8-4. Now it's official. Sailors win 3-1 over the Laguna Beach Breakers. 3-0 in Wave League. And a great turnaround here, like you said, Jess, as the Sailors have entered Wave League. The intensity dials up a notch, and Newport answered the call. What a game tonight. 2 goals from the junior Anto Russo, 1 from the junior Issa Whitaker, and Lane Briggs with 2 assists. The lone goal from Laguna coming from their junior, Cadence Peary, in the 58th minute. Jess, final thoughts for this one. What a great game for Newport's attack.
Yeah, it was a super fun game to watch. Comparing it to the Huntington Beach game 2 weeks ago, you can just tell, comparing the two, how the intensity rises during league and how Newport wants that Wave League title.
Well, they are in great position to get it. 3-0 right now in Wave League. Of course, they'll play those 3 teams again, Fountain Valley, Marina, and Laguna Beach, to end the season. But top 2 in league, qualify for the postseason, or you can be 500 and get an at-large berth. Either way, things are looking good for Newport over their last 3 games, a perfect 3-0, over the last 5, 3, 1, and 1. So a great turnaround here for Newport and a really fun game here tonight. I wish we had a replay because I'd want to go back and watch all 3 goals. All were beautiful goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Russo's free kick in the 28th minute, and then Whitaker had the header on the assist from Briggs. Again, another textbook play, and Russo finished things off in the 76th minute on a pass from Briggs. And like we said, all 3 goals coming really as a result of just some beautiful soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what Newport Harbor does. They do nice, good soccer because that's the core of how they play, and they showed it tonight against Laguna.
Great soccer on display. Get well soon, head coach Justin Schroeder. The assistants filled in quite nicely. Dallas Yossi, Tish Hoke, and Garrett Govars. And big thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight on TarTV. Shout out to John Hoist and the whole TarTV crew for producing this. Big thanks to Principal Dr. Sean Bolton and Athletic Director Dr. Jerry Murray for making this happen. Shout out to the Fresh Mesh for hopping on at the end of halftime. And Jess, thank you for joining me on today's broadcast. For all of the Newport Harbor girls soccer players, parents, and coaches, this is Alex Crawford saying, from Davidson Field to the Bell Tower, from the pool deck to the senior lot, you've been watching Newport Harbor girls soccer on TarTV. Sailors win 3-1. Go Sailors!